Let's go.
Get ready to crank up the intensity. We're diving into a brand new battlefield for an action-packed 1 vs 1 showdown on Beyond All Reason as Pigz takes on the chaos of the game. This time he's squaring off against the formidable TankTom from All Reason No Logic. It's round 3. Tom's got 2. Who knows who's going to win this one?
I'll be joining Twigs to help give his voice a bit of a rest after a bout of sickness, and you'll be joining us on Frozen Forward, another symmetrical map, this time with a lot of verticality to play with. Both teams have the opportunity to get onto the high ground and prevent access through the middle. This is quite a metal heavy map. The points being 1.7 means that each one won't make a huge difference in and of itself, but the greater your map control, the greater you'll scale. In the top right, we've got PigzTV in blue, and in the bottom left, we've got TankTom in red. TankTom is going for a bot start, as well as, and so is PigzTV. So we should see a very balanced game going through here. We'll see whether any of them take advantage of the geometry of the map for an interesting play.
And it is Armada versus Cortex.
That means that TankTom will have the advantage in close range grunt engagements.
And of course, as soon as you build the solar, the wind goes up.
Yeah, well, it's just starting our lives, isn't it?
But the extra speed of Pigz's pawns might give him the maneuverability advantage.
For new watchers, they can't hear what we're saying, but we can obviously hear them.
We'll always try and give priority to what they're saying, because it's always interesting to know what our players are thinking in the middle of the game. Both players have basically used up all of their metal and energy, with PigzTV actually being ahead with 6 wind. Oh, actually, Tom should be ahead. He's just consuming his metal more efficiently, building a build turret very early. Tom has currently started with a grave robber, but he's not yet getting it to collect energy. So we should see Tom shoot ahead in energy production once he gets that going. Pigz is still reluctant to build Lazarus, which is his version of a grave robber. With so many trees on the map, that's a great source of energy. Each one provides somewhere in the realms of 250 energy. So when your wind is so variable, it's a great way to start. Now we're seeing Pigz.
Sorry, you go.
Oh, yeah.
No, you go right ahead.
I was just thinking, hopefully the players have scoped out this map. I know Pigz has played this one against me before. There's a hill in each lane. I suppose you can call them lane.
Yep.
That they can take advantage of sending troops down and around into the other opponent's base. But cliffs for the rest of the map, so no other pushing. Only 2 spots to defend.
Yep.
Or attack.
We see Pigz is the first one out of his base, getting an early medal in front of his base. He's also got his pawns pushing forward. We'll see whether he uses that hill to get into Tom's base very quickly. If you've watched any of Tom's games before, you'll know that he's very light on defenses, so he'll be relying on this choke point to try and hold them.
And Tom's taking advantage of the the energy converters, whereas Pigz has not, and he's overflowing energy. So if we bring up the statistics, you can see excess energy for Tom is only 1,000, whereas Pigz is already up to 3,000, which could have been converted into, what's that, 100 metal or something? Or is it?
So at the moment, just because Pigz got his two extra medals and has another one over Tom at the moment, he's sitting slightly ahead. Though in this early game, that's a matter of a couple of pawns. So a defender's advantage will easily change that.
Maybe that's two.
Both players holding defensive at the moment. I'd love to see an early push. We know that both players tend to be light on defenses and very easy to take advantage of early on. Pigz has taken a different approach to the previous game, and he's actually got some build turrets in his base. And he's pushing his comm out, which we always say is a good move. While T1 is the only thing on the field, the commander is easily the strongest unit.
Starting to see more units come out with 10 grunts for Tom versus 11 pawns for Pigz. Tom's now got 4 aggravators out on the field as well. Pigz is ready to change up his unit composition.
I'm also seeing that Tom has the Geo in his build queue, so he's looking to transition from those grave robbers stealing trees into a Geo, as compared to Pigz, who currently doesn't have a Geo in his build queue. So, based on his wind production, it looks like he's going to be relying on that in the short term.
Yeah,
We've
very
got our first
efficient.
potential.
Very efficient build is the Geo. It costs 540 metal, and it will produce 300 energy per second.
One of the nicest things about it is that it's constant power. While wind is a very cost-efficient choice, the fluctuations can sometimes leave you in trouble. For any of you who've watched my game versus Pigz, I was able to take a large chunk of his base out just because he didn't have enough power for his LLTs. It looks like Pigz is bypassing one of the cliff entries. Whether he knows it's there or not, we're not sure. If he did go up it, he would certainly have trouble against those 2 LLTs, so it might be a good thing that he's bypassing it. However, with Tom's army encroaching at the front, any engagement there will be a struggle for Pigz. Those aggravators will potentially make the difference because of their range.
For those spectating games, and Prey, you might want to do this now. If you go up to settings and then go to interface, and then the 3rd page of advanced in interface, there's a spectators HUD. If you turn that on, you'll see an interesting little tool that will come up on the top right of the screen, which we can talk about.
Let's see if I can find that.
So it's settings, interface, and then 3rd page of advanced.
Hello.
While you look for that, I'm going to...
I do believe I have that on, or... Oh no, I don't. There it is. Very good. That adds the ability to see who is ahead in all of the resources based on sliders. That's a good visual representation of what's going on in the game. It looks like our first engagement is happening. Tom appears to have done quite well hitting the pawns with the aggravators. We'll see whether he can sweep up the line by attacking it on an angle. Pigz doesn't seem to have noticed the combat just yet. So losing a couple of units to very little gain. Though now, with Tom going in aggressively, he's lost his pawns and his front line, so Pigz should be able to take all of the aggravators. Good aggressive call there. Losing a couple of pawns to take those aggravators is a great call.
Better than me.
Tom's now sending his units in on a in a trickle, which means that he'll keep losing them for no advantage.
I would have liked to see Pigz continue his advantage there.
New play, still relatively new play. It's trying to look at the engagement itself and see how it's gonna perform.
That really hurts to see that he's not pushed those in any further. Now Tom's once again a stronger army composition on that side.
Yep. Had he pushed those in, he would have been able to fight those units one at a time as they trickled in. He might have been able to push Tom all the way back off of the entire series of upper and lower mexes on his side. Could have swung the game by about 12 metal income per second.
Tom's Geo about to come up online. He's got about 15% of his sun.
With Pigz only just starting his Geo now. Interestingly, there's actually a second Geo in each corner, which the players haven't yet tried to take. We'll see whether either of them decide that the investment is worth it. At the moment, they won't be able to utilize much of the power beyond conversion, but it will help if they transition to T2. Another small engagement up in the top side. This time with Pigz actually trying to get around, though it seems like he's backing away. I would have loved to see those pawns sweep through. Something which any of our consistent viewers would know. Once you get past the front line, there's normally a pretty open run to the base where you can take all of the eco. If we look on the cliff,
where his commander is.
Yep. If Tom knew it was there, which I don't think he does have a radar, so he should know it's there. It's in radar view. If Tom sends something to scout that, he could end the game right now. But I believe he's more interested with what he's doing up on top of the cliff. If you notice, just above the battlefield, he's investing in an aggravator. This is a risky play because it costs over 1,000 metal, which are units he won't have on the field to defend. But if he gets it off, he'll effectively shut down this area. Though it appears to be somewhat in view of Pigz's aggravators. They unsuccessfully fired off some shots, so he knows something's up there. Pigz taking the medal, which is a huge advantage.
Unfortunately, Pigz doesn't have any build in his backline. He's completely left the facility. Oh, he just built the constructor, as I've said that.
Reclaim field.
Yep. Though, to be fair, if you can win off of with the army that he has right now, an aggressive enough push would actually be able to do a lot of damage. So.
Pigz has such a bigger army, and this is unfortunately classic new player. Just too nervous to use what you've got. And
yep,
he definitely, what's that? That's 2,700 metal worth of army there versus Tom had less than half that, 1,022 metal.
Yep. By the time the engagement actually happens, though, it looks like Tom's units will be streaming in and hopefully will have made the difference.
Catch you if you can.
Tom is trying to taunt him with pawns, but after the previous game, hopefully Pigz knows that Tom likes to play games. If he just attacked now, I don't think there'd be much that Tom could do.
Pigz is going for an air transition. But
that'd be good to see. If he eats his lab and goes straight into bombers, he should be able to take out Tom's comm.
Didn't need to.
But we'll see how he goes. This is one of the areas where Pigz is still showing his inexperience. When you commit to a play, you do have to commit. One of the strongest positions to be in a game, regardless of how it's going, is to be the one in control. And an air transition is one of the ways to regain control.
If you look at the other base, quite funny things happening.
We have 2 air transitions. We're going to have bombers versus gunships, which is an interesting play. And we know, and one of the advantages that TankTom has is he knows where Pigz's comm is. So the big question is, does TankTom know how many bombers you need to snipe a comm?
Very early in this game, or for the majority of the early game, Pigz had that advantage on both eco units out, everything. But you can see from the sliders on the.
Everybody's watching. It's one of these ones you concentrate so much you actually forget to talk. It's a good job the heart can actually pump. The heart can actually pump without you having to think about it, isn't it? Because otherwise we'd be dead.
It's always great hearing our players banter. One of the reasons we're actually doing this channel is because we found this game and we've been playing it a lot together. It's something that we enjoy a lot, so it's always good that even in a 1v1 where they're competitive against each other, they're still on a friendly basis.
Pigz desperately needing to expand on that eco and get some more build power out with over 1,000 metal in the bank, and Tom's going into the T2 transition, but not enough E.
Yep, I would have loved to have seen Tom actually do something with these bombers. If he wasn't going to do anything with them, he should have. If he was going to build the lab at all, he should have only built the air constructor and then eaten the lab.
Pigz moving those gunships out. He did have them bunched out, but now he's stretched them out, like you can see on my screen. You don't want to keep air units. Well, you probably want to keep them in the air rather than on the ground.
We've got a push coming from Pigz. He's moving up towards the 2 LLTs towards Tom's comm. We'll see whether this push can actually break through. Doesn't look like Tom has many units at all.
He's going.
In fact, I don't think Tom has any units.
If Pigz pushes now, the game's probably his.
The only hope that Tom has is to be able to take his T2 bomber and his T1 bombers and snipe the comm.
There we go. Tom's commander's actually invisible right now, so we're going to see these gunships do some decent damage probably.
They've swept on past, and both players are going to know about the air transitions as of now. We'll see whose is more effective. TankTom is going for the location he last saw Pigz's comm, and we'll find that it's not there.
But he's
Bombers
going to
have very small vision.
He's seen the comm now, and
he's seen the comm now, so
it
it looks like it's going to be Tom's game. Smart decision hiding the comm, and unfortunately, Pigz hasn't tried to take out the Geo. And one of the areas that I'd love to see Pigz do right now, a comm can build an AA turret.
No.
And with how slowly these bombers are dropping bombs, there's a decent chance that he would have been able to get an AA up and potentially protect himself.
All he needs to do is go invisible. But
I really hope
unfortunately-
that killed you.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's
thank God.
GG. Pigz in a commanding position through the whole game.
That was going to be close because I knew what I was trying to do. Oh, that was
wow.
really fun. Was that one?
Oh boy.
What do you reckon,
Let's get the
guys?
players back in chat.
We're in. We're in.
Yeah, Pigz.
That was a good game.
Oh wow!
Pigz,
How did you lose
That
that?
was your game to lose.
How
You
did
had a
you-
commanding spot the entire time. Better eco, better army, but you unfortunately fell in the trap of not using it.
Yeah.
Me?
We talked
Again,
about it last time. You didn't push with your
Hmm.
army your entire game. That army of pawns and rocketeers that you had on the north, you had more army than Tom did, and you just didn't use it. And then you didn't
Since
put your
you're getting a lot
commander on
better at that.
invisible. Put your commander on
Yeah, you
invisible.
Oh,
flew-
yeah, I didn't think about
You
it.
flew straight over Tom's comm with your air wing. That
When
was
you
an
came-
intense moment.
But his
When
is
you came up
invisible.
that ramp,
Yep,
I
it
was
was
going,
invisible,
oh god, oh god, oh
so-
god.
that
Oh, that
was
was.
a
So
that was a
It
very
was a good
clutch
game,
by
that
you,
one. That
Tom.
was really fun.
you forgot about your commander again. You had him sitting down in the middle of the canyon instead of taking him to the back. And your eco also didn't expand after that initial. Like you did a really good eco at the start, but then it didn't expand after that. You just kept it there
Yep.
until you built your air lab. So you got to just remember to keep that constructor in the back line doing its thing.
If I hadn't
If
known
you're
your
someone
commander was
who's-
in the middle there, I would have been panicking severely because I wouldn't have known what my plan was.
You would have lost.
Oh yeah.
What my problem was, I didn't see them little channels that go down. It was only later. I thought, oh, aye, there's one at the bottom here. I didn't see it. So it was like, because that's why I walked right around, because I assumed it
Yep.
was, you couldn't see it.
We called
you
that
know.
right as it happened. We asked whether you knew. We asked each other whether you knew that those were there, and it wasn't until you started using the one on your side that we worked out that you'd figured it out.
Mm. Again, that was the thing. I should have looked a bit more at the start, but the trouble is sometimes you look at it, and I look at it and thinking, no, it can't transfer there, and you went, wait a minute, well, it was only like, oh, a good 10 minutes at the top, and I thought, wait a minute, if there's one at the top, there must be one at the bottom, because normally the transfer, and that would, because I had to wear the commander, because obviously what I did is just split the units up, because I thought, well, wait a minute, I've got none down there, because I saw his grunts, and I thought, wait a minute, if he comes down there, if he's got more than I can see, he's going to have me. So that's why I thought I'll quickly build all them LLTs and do the thing, and that's why I got him that way. But
With the
yeah, I
air
really enjoyed
transition,
that.
you committed to your gunships, which were great, which would have won the game. You would have cleared out of his base. But as soon as you went and took them in, you just kept building the gunships out of the lab. So if you've been successful with that first round of gunships, but Tom's managed to defend them, and you've got more, they're going to be pointless metal spent because he's now defended against gunships. So you should have transitioned to fighters.
Right, I did and ahh about that. That's why I left him, just in case. I thought, well,
Or back to
it
bots.
it was a bit like the other day where I didn't have enough, and I thought, well, if I lose them and quickly carry on, I've got some instantly before he starts to rebuild again. That was my sort of plan, but that didn't work either. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's leave it there, guys.
I was-
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Yep. Thanks everyone for watching.
Bye
We'll
for
catch you
now.
next time.